Let me start by apologizing for the microphone issues last time. Apparently, having my 3D printer running at the same time as everything else causes a really big audio delay. So, for anyone that had to suffer through my last review, I'm sorry for your eardrums and just the cognitive dissonance in your brain. It didn't make sense, but it worked. For this, though, let's talk about Assassin's Creed 3. So, I'm going to start off the bat and just say I didn't like it. It felt weak. And out of every Assassin's Creed game I played recently, I mean, I know 3 was released before 4 and Rogue, which happened before 3 in the storyline sense of things. But, I don't know. 3 did not feel driven. It felt like you were extreme errand boying. And I mean, I guess I get it because I'm gonna read my little post note here. Rato Hakedun. Yes, I wrote it on a post note, not because I'm ignorant, but because I was too lazy to put his actual name to memory. Gets ordered around and is his only teacher, I guess, in the Brotherhood. There is no Brotherhood at this point in time. The Brotherhood has been dissolved, ruined, etc. And it's just not existent. So being your own I'm gonna do this guy kind of leads back to just having nothing to do. Like, there's optional side content. There was like the almanac pages of Ben Franklin, stuff like that. I felt compelled by like the 0% to do nothing about it. There was absolutely nothing saying, hey, maybe it's better if we get those pages, or hey, you should go synchronize all these points, because they just give you the map. And if you walk across a certain section of the map, it actually uncovers it, unlike previous Assassin's Creed games and even 4 and Rogue. In those games, synchronizing at least felt like it would be a good idea to get a better view of my surroundings. With Connor, with Connor, it didn't feel the same way. It felt awkward. It felt like if I walked into a city and I got a sightline point, that would do me like this much good. Or if I was out in the woods in like a small backwater ass township, if I did this thing there, it would still do me no good. But yes, aside from that, the storyline felt very pushed. Connor was like, hey, I'm trying to protect my village. And then you have all the people who are going to be signing the Declaration of Independence being like, yeah, we could totally help you with that. But first, we're going to need you to do some stuff for us. Oh, like what kind of stuff? Incriminating levels of stuff. We're not going to tell you what it is until you get there, though. And for a bit, Connor kind of goes with it. And then he starts getting progressively more and more pissed as the story goes on. And it's like, huh. Okay. Well, these guys kind of suck. And then as you're getting through that whole these guys kind of suck, you eventually meet up with your papa, Master Kenway, who is the son of Connor Kenway from the 4th game. And his son went from being an assassin-trained assassin to an assassin-trained Templar. And current Connor, Raton Hakedun, doesn't see Templars as evil people. He just sees this group of people that happens to be Templars as evil people. So, he doesn't really think well of his dad. But they meet up, they decide not to murder each other, which odd flex, I guess, since it happens in the late run of things, but I guess he tried to reconnect with his papa. I don't know. I feel like I could have gone without playing that game and not lost or gained anything. Like, the story outside the Animus, I know it's supposed to be tragic. It's supposed to be this, that, and the other thing. Spoiler alert for anyone that hasn't played these games, just skip the next few seconds here. Desmond fucking dies. His ass got cooked on the altar. And Juno also said it would be painless? No, that didn't look painless. That man didn't die in an instant. He suffered for a few seconds. How dare you, Juno? Fuck you. Okay, spoiler done. Come back in, kids. Come back in. I will say, as far as all Assassin's Creed games go, it was longer than Rogue. But Rogue was longer because I had, boat stuff to do. I could have chose to do boat stuff in 3, but it seemed pretty limited. They definitely didn't push it as hard as they did in Rogue or Black Flag, especially Black Flag. In Black Flag, if you didn't capture forts, upgrade your ship, do any of that stuff, you weren't playing the game, because those sections got progressively harder. Rogue, as long as you were under the radar, sections weren't that hard. This game, whatever. Honest rating, honestly, it's gonna be like a 6 or a 5 out of 10. It just didn't stick for me. Something about it felt wrong. It definitely shows that they were moving in the right direction to where they got to, like, Black Flag and stuff. But it didn't do it for me. The only thing actually keeping the score up on this game is Connor having Woods specific free running options that Mr. Kenway did not at the beginning of the game. I think that was a little nifty. I will definitely say the snow physics and how people had to run all goofy like, that is definitely what's upholding the score here, because as someone who comes from a land of snow, you need to run a little goofy if you're trying to go fast through that shit. Everything else about it, though, they spent their time outside the Animus exposition dumping. They spent their time inside the Animus taking you through every historical event of the American Revolution. Like, they shoehorned Connor into a few too many places where it felt unbelievable for its time. Like, having Shay Patrick Cormac meet Ben Franklin on, like, 3 occasions, that felt kind of natural, a little shoehorned. Having Connor take orders from, like, Sam Adams, all that other good stuff, General Washington before he was President George Washington, it felt way out of hand. Like, Connor was sitting in the room as they signed the Declaration. No, the Declaration was signed in secret by a group of however many old dudes at the time wanted to declare their freedom from the crown, and they were all high-end representatives of their peoples. If Connor were there, in factuality, he would have had to have signed it. And I know this game is based on fiction, etc., but you can't just put a man in a room where something important happened and be like, yeah, thanks for doing all this work for us, Connor. You're doing great stuff. It's like, all right. Now they cross that line of believable. Everything else, not bad. That, bad. Just bad. I'm going to continue on with the storyline. Let me see. I have it up on my desktop, which is next. Unity is historically next, which I'm going to have some difficulty playing. The score is already going to be deducted by 1, simply because I have to be French. Not looking forward to that. But yeah, there'll be more stuff coming out soon. I'll be putting up my releases for every other video game I've been playing. Until next time, though, please do stay subscribed and stick around. We will be getting around to the rest of the series. See ya.